Can renegade surgeons transplant your brain while you sleep? The frightening truth next on the 6 at Cast.
You don't have cooties. You don't have the coronavirus. Everything should be fine, right?
Right.
Right, yeah.
Sarah's like, well, you can do that.
And everything is fine on this Thursday, February 13th, 2020. It is the day before Valentine's Day. No, not yet. Not yet. Okay.
I know. I want to make the noise to get on your nerves.
No, that'll come later, and there's no avoiding that.
Okay.
And we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, would you stop?
For those of you who aren't here, Sarah was reaching for a bag of chips.
A bag of chips. We'll get to the bag of chips here in a little bit. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's early, and I'm not over Kobe's death, so we're not celebrating this year.
Wow. Everything, you're just like, Madison?
Everything's on hold.
How much time do you need to grieve?
Till February 17th.
Oh, wow.
What an excuse.
Valentine's Day is the 14th. Madison's birthday is on the 16th.
Wow. So everything's on hold.
You know, people celebrate a week before and a week after, right? Like, we've had couples massages like crazy already.
I mean,
to try to fit it in.
Here's what they do. They don't want to, everybody wants to book their thing on Valentine's Day. I mean, come on. That's just not practical.
You can't.
You can't book a dinner at like 9 a.m. Because no one's going to be there, so it'll be practical to do.
Dinner at 9 a.m.
Yeah, but it's just like, Sarah, I can't take you out to dinner at 9 a.m. because you won't go for that. You won't
please. That's a Valentine's Day breakfast.
You won't even be
That's
up.
golden for you.
It's golden for me, but I don't even know if you'll wake up.
As long as you go to like a nice place to have breakfast, then, don't go to Denny's and be like, this is good, right?
I'm totally cool with Denny's.
Dude, no. I love Denny's.
No. I'm not. I'm not counting. I like Denny's too, but something a little special, different that day.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so where would I go to get high-end breakfast?
Have you
First
been?
Watch.
What is it?
First Watch.
Where's that?
That's
what
a
is
brunch
that?
place.
First Watch. I feel like I've heard that before.
I don't know what that is. That's not like the place here in Alvin where I get my Frito pie?
No, that's Red Oak Cafe, which that's fine too.
Dude, that's so good.
I heard about Red Oak Cafe, but have you guys heard of Snooze?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, Snooze.
I've been wanting to try it, but it's always so busy.
The AM
It's packed.
Eatery. That's where you would go for a Valentine's breakfast.
How far is it?
There's one in Baybrook.
Yeah.
Well, not in
Bay Area.
Baybrook, but Bay Area.
It's called Snooze?
Snooze and Hagen. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe if I saw it, I'd be like, oh, that place.
Do you know where Taco Cabana is?
Of course I do.
It's just a little before that light on the left.
Mm-hmm. So
Really?
instead of,
in that new shopping strip. Okay.
yes.
No,
Tell
I've
him a
never
landmark he cares about.
I didn't.
Who doesn't like
I was
Taco
going to keep
Cabana?
going. I was like, Discount Tire, Taco Cabana, go a little bit to the left.
I got
But
you.
it is expensive. It's not, $8.99 a plate.
Is that's considered expensive? Or it's higher than that?
It's higher than that.
So it's like $11 for an omelet?
Probably more.
It
But
better
the
be.
omelet comes with a lot of things.
Oh, okay. It better be really good. It better be blessed by somebody that's really important.
The
no,
French
if
toast.
the portion sizes are good, then it's worth it.
Yeah, I get full with like 2 entrees.
2 entrees?
Hey, there's that whole stigma about high-end restaurants serving you little, like cat food-sized, servings.
Well,
I'd be upset if I had a tiny can of, Friskies or whatever and be like, this is my meal? That's what
I say
$26. Okay. All right.
Sir, it's 26 for that, but you haven't looked at the whole receipt.
And I'm just like, oh. Okay.
For you and Sarah, it's like $71.
God damn
for
it.
breakfast.
And yet I'm still going to have to go to my local burger joint because I'm like, I'm still hungry. I'm sorry.
Just keep ordering there.
Oh my God.
We have food.
But we don't have the money.
Yeah. We
No,
don't have this.
so I say 2 entrees because the French toast is considered an entree by itself, and they're so good.
I love French toast.
Have you ever had to go somewhere to eat where you left hungry or so disappointed that you went elsewhere to finish eating?
Yeah, that's happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only time that I can remember growing up as a kid is me and my family went into Pearland to some Chinese restaurant or something. And we had heard that this place was really good. And it was awful. I barely had anything, but I was also a kid, so I wasn't like judging the food. I was just like, whatever, it's food. And I was trying to eat. I wasn't really, I guess, enjoying it, but nobody else was enjoying their food either. And my dad and mom were just like, we need to go, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and go. We're going to take the check. And it was like super awkward even for a kid. I understood. I was like, something's happening. And I'm not happy with it because even though this isn't great food, I knew going in I probably wasn't going to like it because I was a picky eater, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to like this. But we left, and I was just thinking, do I apologize? But I'm a kid. I shouldn't apologize for anything. We went next door to the Burger King, and like the Chinese place had like these big windows. They watched us walk into Burger King and eat. Because
they did.
Because we were so unhappy with their food.
You think they did.
Well, they had to.
They don't care.
Where was this place at?
It was in Pearland. You know where that bowling alley was?
I know exactly where the Burger King is you're talking about.
Okay, so I don't know what the names of the roads are, but it was next to that Burger King.
I know.
It's not the Chinese place anymore. I don't know what it is
That
now.
used to be Pizza Inn.
Okay.
When I was a kid.
It might have been after that.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah, because now it's a Mexican restaurant.
Pizza Inn hasn't been around for a while, so it was a Chinese, and now it's Nopalito.
So that's where it was. Yeah.
Now, may I ask you, was this a white person that told your family that it was good?
I have no idea. I was a kid. I had no say in where we were going to eat.
Okay, well, let's just assume it was a white person. Don't listen to them.
Oh, okay.
I love their egg rolls.
Because I thought it was a joke. Someone once told me that if you go to a restaurant that is predominantly white people sitting in there, you're at the wrong place. Because white people have no taste.
Unless it's the breakfast place.
Unless it's the breakfast place. So
Credit where credit's due.
I mean, but like, does that even count? Like, if I went into like a rando barbecue joint, like predominantly white people are going to be in there, but I like Joe's Barbecue.
that's a very
you
valid
still
point.
like Joe's Barbecue?
I like barbecue.
There's better barbecue, but yeah.
Joe's has fallen from grace.
Really? That whatever chopped meat that I always get, I still love it. I love it. I don't know. Gets better with age.
But I'm white, so I can say that comment.
Oh, although that barbecue place that me and you tried randomly coming from Pearland, I don't know. It was
The beautiful thing I grew up on, Central Texas barbecue.
They're actually
By
pretty
the
good.
railroad tracks?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually pretty good.
No,
Hot
it is.
damn.
Mhm.
It looks a bit dumpy, and when you go inside, it's a bit much. But you just look at
It's
the food,
so
and you're like,
cute.
"Wow,
Yeah.
this is some pretty good food."
It's so
It is
loud.
good.
But I remember being a kid and it felt huge. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
still feels pretty big. But now, of course, being an adult, it's like, oh, I can just take like 20 steps. I'm already in all the way towards the back.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could definitely see how, as a child, you would think that the place is enormous because there are strategic mirrors placed in that place that make it appear even bigger. Me and Sarah have been marching through The Office. We made it through season 3, and we are, a decent chunk into season 4.
Yay.
I heard about the dinner party.
So yeah, Sarah, how have you been enjoying your, walk through The Office?
I'm so happy season 3's over with.
Why?
That was so cringeworthy.
Season 3?
Yeah.
What?
Because of
He's like, oh boy.
because of Michael.
Yeah.
What part in season 3 made you cringe the most from Michael? Is it
Just the shit he says. It's so inappropriate. And he just keeps going. And
Dude, the
going.
wedding episode with Phyllis and Bob Vance?
Oh my God.
That was pretty tough.
Bro, when he's talking to the old guy and he
Yeah.
starts rambling again, he's like, I let you talk already. Like, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Get it, hold it together.
And he talked about it, like when Phyllis's dad sat down. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's sitting down now." Yeah.
Wow.
so bad.
And then he walks up to be part of the wedding party, and the people are just like, "You're not going to," but he wedges himself.
He does. Scooch back. He's gonna do it, bro. When he started talking about what a wedding is, but he memorized welding instead of wedding.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, of course, the infamous dinner party at Jan and Michael's house.
But to kick off season 4, what a kickoff that was. What did you feel when the first episode happened?
What was the episode?
It was very, very cute. We found out at the very end of the episode that Jim and Pam were actually together.
Yeah.
So you start off season 4 of they went on their first date and nothing happened. I was like, I'm feeling strung out right now. Because you did the trivia last week. I was thinking, what the hell?
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, this is a joke.
And then I was trying to convince her that somewhere down the road, Jim dies or something. Because I was, she's like, there were spoilers. I know the spoilers. And I'm like, no, you don't. Jim dies. Okay. It happens. Shit happens in this show. It's going to take a huge left turn.
Oh.
So, maybe
no.
she knows that Jim doesn't die. I mean, he might.
Avi.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
And then Angela and what's his name? Are finally,
Dwight.
No. Andy. They're finally an item.
Yeah, which is also kind of strange. Oh, the kidnapping of the pizza boy. That was pretty funny.
Bro. Why is there a guy saying that he needs help and he's being held against his will? Click. No, I was referring to Meredith getting run over in like the first minute.
Shit, that happened.
My God, yeah.
Like that shocked everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and even when you watch it again, it's like, oh my gosh. And the way he delivers the news.
What was the one with the? Was it about suicide or depression? And it had the watermelon
Depression.
off of the thing.
That was my first episode. Remember, safety training day.
Yeah, god damn it! Like all of these episodes that occur as they're happening, I'm just like, I think this is the episode where this happened, and then it is like, oh yeah, I know this one's gonna be good.
That's what hooked me. That episode. When I saw it, I was like, what the?
The Office is such a good show. Watch we get like almost to the end, and then Netflix is like, it's done. Like, what would you do?
Well, NBC is starting their own thing, so
we need to like hurry up.
Because unless you're going to buy the NBC streaming service.
Oh, we do the free trial just to finish it off. I'll be like, Sarah, you've got 4 days, and you've got 2.5 seasons to get through The Office.
I'm on it.
She goes, I'm on it. She gets ramen, and she goes, challenge accepted.
It's like, I'm off this Monday. Let's do this.
Wow.
We briefly mentioned it on last week's episode. Me and Sarah got through the 3-part docuseries Don't F With Cats on Netflix. So, have you heard about this at all?
What is that about?
It is about a guy.
Don't F with cats.
Yeah.
It's about It's about internet sleuths helping to solve this case.
Yeah. So this guy goes on YouTube a couple of years ago, and he put up videos of him harming and murdering cats. And so the cat community was outraged, and deservedly so. And then they took it upon themselves to try to figure out who he was, or at least where he was in the world, going by objects that were in the room. And one of them had involved a vacuum cleaner and cats, and then another one involved a bathtub. It was really hard to watch.
Where was he uploading this at?
Where?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Not YouTube.
No,
Yeah,
he was,
YouTube.
He was uploading.
Oh, that's what I
YouTube.
mean.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's
you-
what I mean is so on
He was
YouTube.
streaming on YouTube.
And then
Streaming
he would like attach it to Facebook and like just share it and all that stuff. And then of course like it would be shared, just because of what it is. People are
Because
like,
of
look at how
how
fucked up
horrible-
this
yeah.
is. Yeah. And being cat parents like me and Sarah, episode 1 was really hard to watch. But you got to go into this knowing that the bad guy gets caught. Like that's usually what these true crime things is like. Usually they catch the bad guy, and it's just you going on the journey of how they did it. You know, it's kind of like Forensic Files. You know, at the end of every episode, they catch the bad guy. You know,
Or the show I Survived.
yeah,
You got, like, you know, they're telling their story.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like, are they going to die?
Yeah. Oh my god. 10 minutes in. Oh shit.
this fool's not going to make it.
Because one woman, she was literally bleeding out. And she was just saying, I was trying to do this. I was trying to go here or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's here to tell her story. Like, she's telling me her story.
Yeah.
But I still think she might die.
Yeah.
Selena bled out.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah, when she was shot, she ran all around the hotel complex thing because she was trying to run away, and she bled out.
Wow, I have never ever really looked into that. It would probably be way too depressing.
Yeah, as she was trying to leave the hotel room with
Yeah.
what's her name in it, she shot her,
Yeah.
and then she ran out and made it. Have you ever seen a hotel in? Is it a Days Inn? And you know it's like open, like in a U form, and then
Yeah.
the front office is like that. She had to run across the grass, made it to the front office concrete part, and then fell.
Oh, no.
Wow.
But all through that, because she hit one of the main arteries that had a bunch of blood, she just kept, as she was running, trying to get away. That's how much more blood came out.
wow.
So she died.
And so now you've ruined my night. That's cool. We'll see you next week. But yeah,
That wasn't an I Survived story, Manuel.
Oh no, it was.
We were trying to tell about this guy messing with cats, and in the end he got caught. But it is just astounding the level of dedication that these people were able to push through to try to narrow down where this guy. It is so interesting, man. Don't F with Cats. It's on Netflix. Go check it out.
Please.
Wow, that's crazy.
How has your week gone?
Now all I can think about is the cat. Like I don't even want to see the videos. Like
Oh,
I don't have pets, but I don't hate pets, you
Yeah.
know? And like not with cats, but with dogs. I saw on Facebook or somewhere, I don't remember, where they were like stepping on like little puppies and stuff. Dude, that was hard to watch. Like I was like, who does that? Who sits there and just does that?
They're sadistic. Man.
People who are really messed up in the world.
So what was up with this guy?
He was, what is it, narcissistic?
Very, very egotistical. He wanted to. So we first heard about this crime on a podcast called Sword and Scale.
Yeah.
And I love the narrator on it because he did not hold back from calling this guy an asshole or an absolute piece of shit of the earth. And it's so much easier to hear the audio of, they played the reactions of people watching it. And I was like, oh, so this is so much easier to hear audibly instead of visually. He wants to be famous, especially for his looks. So he's tried modeling, he's tried going on reality TV shows, and to no success. So then he got into the adult industry, like just getting on a website and selling himself and prostituting.
Yeah, he was a male escort.
Yeah. In Canada. But these web sleuths, they were able to figure out like, oh, so that streetlight is unique to, this place, and that cigarette is a particular import, so it's from that. And then the vacuum cleaner, oh, that's from here, or we can get it from here. And it's just like, whoa. And then they found this poster. They were able to figure out the layout of his room, and kudos to them. I'm not religious, but God bless them.
Yeah. Wow. They eventually figured out who the guy was, and so they were able to like see his face.
And
but
they
needed
him.
But they needed more like evidence against
Concrete.
him. Concrete to denote like for sure this is the guy. And so like he would take selfies all
you're
around.
Gonna be like, so we shipped him some cats in a box, and we saw it happen again. So then we jumped in.
Too far.
Oh wow, yeah, too far.
Too far.
But yeah, they were able to determine by selfies. Okay, if he's in this country, if he's standing near this landmark, how do we figure that out? And they go to the links of Google Maps and trying to go like street by street until they see something familiar from any of these pictures. And it is crazy the level of dedication of like, if you try to go street by street of Houston looking for a statue,
Oh my god!
that isn't attached to like a stadium or like a college. It's just a random statue. It's not in a major park. It's just a statue on a street corner. You'd be like, well, we know this is in Houston. How do we figure this out? How do we
see
know?
you in 10 years.
How many parks or grass areas are near this big building? So you just Google Maps and then you go, block by block, and that's how you do it. You sit there and you do 360 cameras. The world we live in, it is just insane. How if you wanted to find somebody, you probably could.
Wow.
And they felt unheard because it went to a point where he did finally murder someone.
Yeah, that is a telltale sign of someone that is probably going to murder someone. They start off with small, innocent creatures.
Because you're numb to the feeling of, I guess, hurting / killing.
Yeah. They almost always eventually move on to people. And so after a series of videos, it was just like, we really need to stop this guy. And then there was a video of him murdering somebody. And they were like, now we have like a full-on major threat on our hands.
So he streamed himself killing someone else?
He recorded it and uploaded it. Yep.
How did they kill him?
Like, how did he kill his victim?
Oh my god!
Like,
I don't try and give me hints because y'all both were quiet, and then she started scratching her neck. I was like,
severed. No, it's like I don't know if I should give it away. I mean,
he cut him up.
Yeah, he cut him up
in pieces.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he like limb by limb, and so in garbage bags they started smelling the smell.
Narco style.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
And they found they actually saw a dead puppy because he did kill a dog along with it. Because he answered this advertisement on Craigslist saying free puppy or something like that. I can't remember if it was his listing so he can try and lure someone or if he was finding on Craigslist to try and pick a victim. And so then there was the dead puppy. And then they found a torso and then just kept uncovering these garbage bags of this poor guy.
Yep. So yeah, don't F with cats. I mean, yeah, don't do that, but you should really go see the documentary. If you're into true crime like you are, you watch Forensic Files, I think you'd get a good kick out of this one.
I'm so into it. We're still talking about it. Oh, wow.
We also had an adventurous weekend. Me and Sarah went to the Monster Jam.
Yeah, the first weekend of no football, we went all out.
And this was her first time going to Monster Jam. I was legitimately like 12, 13, maybe when I went to my last Monster Jam. Always wanted to go back. Kind of embarrassing when you're, a teenager and you're like too cool
20
for
years
school
later.
And you're just like, you're a teenager and you're just like, no, I don't need to go. That's for kids, man.
I'm going to go to the mall.
Yeah, I'm going to go do this, man. I'm going to go to the skating rink and stuff. And yeah. And all these years later, I'm just like, you know what? It looks like fun. And she had never been, so we went. It was a late Christmas gift. She had gotten it for me.
Yeah.
NRG, right?
Yes.
The stadium.
Is it still NRG?
Yeah.
Yeah, NRG Stadium. So when we got there, Sarah was looking around and she was like,
Judgy hardcore.
like the whole time she was just talking mess as we were going into the stadium. And here I am like getting more and more excited. And she's like, there's a certain demo that this type of event attracts. And you could say it's like NASCAR, it's Southern Bubbas or something.
Yeah, a bunch of bubbas. And then Hispanics.
And so, yeah, after she pointed that out, I was like, no, it's not.
Where do you think the term Bubba came from? Because I don't know if you remember Melissa. She's used to work with me. You met her a few times. She had 2 kids.
I don't know.
Well, they used to call the boy Bubba. And then I would just repeat it, and be like, no, Bubba, But I, at that time, didn't know that was... What is this term? Where...
I think the term Bubba is derived from, like, old, like, country bumpkin type of rednecks, hee-haw type, type of guy. Hey, me and Bubba gonna go out there and go shoot some ducks, man. I don't know. And I think I think it's just one of those terms that's generally used to describe that type of person. And so you could just use it anywhere, And so now Sarah's like, yeah, it's a bunch of Bubbas around here. And I was like, what? No, it's not. I look around and
You literally just had to look in front of us.
yeah, and there was a lot. There was a lot of.
At the time, I thought Bubba was for a kiddo, like just a young kiddo.
But there's poor grown men who started off as children and now are grown men who are legit named Bubba.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, if I have a kid with Madison, he's gonna be half white and half Mexican. But
Okay.
Jose has a full-blown Mexican little girl.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you gonna want to call your kid Bubba?
No, is that?
You can call him Bubby. I've heard Bubby.
Okay, so but is that because
You could call him Beto.
No, but is Bubba only for a certain type of race?
No. It's really just a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't
Because
think
you
of another.
only hear Bubba with,
Yeah, Southern good old boys, And I had said these are good old boys with big old toys.
That's right.
Because when we were up in the stadium watching
That's
the
what
monster
it
trucks, she said when they introduced all the trucks here, they come out of the tunnels, and she said they look like giant Tonka toys going around the stadium.
It was so cute.
And so, like, hearing her genuine reaction to, like, this stuff that I'd wanted to see for many years, I was like, oh, thank goodness she's enjoying this. She's either doing a really good job at selling this and trying to make me feel good about this, or she's genuinely enjoying this silliness. Because now I'm seeing it different. I'm like, I guess it is kind of silly. But it's still super cool to watch these big old giant trucks jump and do all this stuff and woo!
I want to say the last time I went was, 2020? So I'll say 2011. Probably
Okay.
2011. So that was 9
It's like
years ago.
Yeah. Oh, really? Who did you take?
Bubba. I went with Melissa and her kids.
Oh, okay.
That's so funny.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it because it was my first and only time.
Wow.
So I don't know that I'll enjoy it again. I probably will.
It's relatively
from the
cheap.
noises, yeah, from everything, But that's so funny that I went with a little,
When we were leaving, At a certain point, we went down into like the lower bowls and like started wandering around the
This
stadium.
was during the freestyle.
Yeah. So there were 3 different things. There was the tournament, then there was a challenge thing, and then there was at the end the freestyle. So we're wandering around the bottom bowl, and Sarah's like, I want you to take a look around and just see how many people are dressed in camouflage.
Oh, but this started because he asked me, so is this or we brought up, I guess, a video that a girl posted. She says, all white girls dress the same. Is the denim jacket a white shirt and black jeans? And he said...
Because I saw a woman that was like, isn't that the same outfit that I saw in that video that you sent me about that girl, whatever?
And I said, super close, but not quite. And then that's when we brought up, like, hey, let's look for people that are wearing camo. Now, we could have picked camo, leopard print, or plaid. And we would have hit gold. Plaid.
We would've hit gold. So we went with camo of any kind. Shorts, scarf, jacket, hoodie, anything that was camo. We're going to count
adult, kid, the new merchandise, whatever. Because there was a pink camo shirt.
Yeah. And so in about 15 or 20 minutes, we found like 60 people that wore some form of camo in their wardrobe.
Dude.
And it was kind of shocking when you hit like 30 and 40. And then when you hit 50, you're like, I cannot believe this is the thing. And then we hit 60. And it was like, okay,
and we legit got up to 65.
Yeah.
Before we left.
And we could have, they were doing the freestyle thing. So there's less and less people in the concourse. Dude, it was just left and right. And it's like, look at all these kids. Look at all these people over here getting popcorn. There's 3 kids over there and 2 adults over here. It was shocking.
A couple guys with camel hats, that counted too.
Yeah.
Camel hats.
I went through and marched through the Boogeyman horror franchise.
How many are those?
There are 5. Questionably 2 of them. But, 3 official ones.
Okay.
4 and 5 are fucking questionable. And I was really, really disappointed with 4 and 5.
Why are they questionable?
Because they have nothing
To do with Boogeyman?
nothing to do with anything that I have seen established. Okay, so it's a 5 movie set, right? And you've got the Boogeyman from 2005, and then you got the 2 sequels that follow. And then there is the 1980 The Boogeyman. But then nowhere on the DVD, on the box, on the discs, anywhere does it say Return of the Boogeyman, which is part 5, was made in 1994. That is a direct sequel to the one from 1980. Okay? The reason I was so disappointed with that is because the one from 1980 was not good. It wanted so badly to be Amityville Horror, The Exorcist, and Halloween all together. And I was just stunned at what I was watching. In the confusion, I was like, how is this The Boogeyman? And then when I watched Return of the Boogeyman, 80% of that movie is a recap and re-edit of the movie before. So I'm sitting here on the couch like, I watched this movie last night. What in God's name am I doing with myself? It's shorter and it is just awful. It is fucking awful. And the shocker here is that Boogeymans 2 and 3 are the best ones out of the whole set. Because when you stumble out of the gate with The Boogeyman, the first one, in 2005, I told Sarah it took me like 2 hours to get through a 90-minute movie because I fell asleep 2 or 3 times and I had to rewind 10 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes. It was just, as soon as the movie started, it was trying to put me to sleep.
And Hellraiser did the same thing for you, I think, right?
Yeah, but that was like Hellraiser 4 through 7. Mm-hmm. The 1 and 2 were pretty good. 3 was and then from there, it's just a steep decline.
Hellraiser, not Hellboy.
No, Hellboys are pretty cool. Well, I haven't seen the new one, but yeah, Hellboy 1 and 2 are good. But for the Boogeyman to come out of the gate, I'm like, come on, I haven't seen you since 2005. Let's see how good you are. Awful. And the CG effects of this movie are like laughably bad. It's like a sci-fi original movie, like Sharknado type of bad. Yeah. But these guys had money. And when it's basically about this man.
What a reference.
It's about this young boy who is scared of his closet because he believes that there's an entity living in the closet. And I can relate. I used to think that too. But this thing came and took his father, killed him, or he disappeared. And so the boy grows up and he's traumatized by this. And so he ends up going back to his old childhood home to confront the evil of the Boogeyman.
Who lived there?
I don't know. It was abandoned, I think. Like after the dad disappeared, I don't know where the mom was, and it just kind of like fell apart. Like I don't know, but I also fell asleep a couple times. I'm just like, God, this movie. So he comes and defeats the Boogeyman. They have their confrontation, and he kicks the Boogeyman in the face, and that was enough to defeat the evil. Okay, so then when we go into part 2, the boogeyman is not a supernatural entity. We are fed at the beginning that it is a man in a coat that murders people. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's like a real person. That's fine. And we end up in this psychiatric ward where there is somebody that is like copycat killing these people. Okay. So I'm like, okay, that's fair in and of itself. Tobin Bell, who is Jigsaw from the Saw movies, he was in there. And I was like, whoa, what is Tobin Bell doing in Boogeyman 2?
He wants to play a game.
He was like, I'm trying to diagnose your psychosis in the entity that you keep referring to, the Boogeyman.
But he's younger. So
But he's younger,
Then
but
he goes, sorry about that.
I thought, so this is just how Tobin Bell talks in everything? Because I saw him do a television show, and he also talked like this. And I thought, okay, I guess that's just who he is.
That's pretty good. The voice.
So, part 2 was fair. And then Sarah sat with me through at least half of part 3 because she came home from the gym. And the thing is that it picks up where part 2 left off, but now the boogeyman is supernatural again. And so now I'm like, so which is it? Is he a real person or is he an entity again? And so Sarah watched it with me, and it was pretty bad. But 2 and 3 together they're tolerable. And 4 and 5 were just no.
Well, God bless you for doing that.
Yeah, so I just want to make it clear that if anyone is curious about watching the Boogeyman franchise, you could only just watch part 2 and 3.
I feel like this is one of those memes where it's like nobody and then like blank and then you're like, and then it says, Nick, I'm going to start Boogeyman 3 or 4.
Oh, man. Okay, so what we have here in front of us before we get into our main discussion of evil clowns and all that stuff, it was brought to our attention a while back that there are hip-hop artists that have potato chips out there.
And now, is this them having the potato chips or them signing over the rights? Because those are specific faces on the bags.
These are called rap snacks. So this is just a special brand, I would guess, that wanted to highlight rappers.
I suppose, yeah.
For their own special flavor. So whoever Migos is, and then Cardi B. Those are the only two that
this particular gas station had.
Like the 2 biggest hip hop stars in the last 3 years.
So you know who Migos is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of Migos.
You've heard at least one song of theirs. Bad and Bougie.
I don't know. Maybe.
Bad and Bougie.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
No.
You've heard that for sure at least once.
Maybe. I honestly could not tell you.
Yeah, I have. I'm sure you have. Once you hear it, even if you hear just a little bit of it.
Yeah. So go ahead and turn it. What are these flavors? Cardi B is...
This one is cheddar barbecue.
Okay.
And then we have sour cream with a dab of ranch.
Wow. Look at that face
with
on
a
Cardi
dab.
B. Yeah, with a
Look
dab.
Look at my dab.
Are these the guys that did dabbing?
Yeah. Well, they did the song that I just said, Look at My Dab.
Oh, that's them.
Yeah.
Okay. See, so it's their fault that people were dabbing.
Yeah, no. A football player, I think, started that, right? No?
I don't know.
I don't know who started it. But they did a song that says, Look at My Dab. But you've heard the song, so let's start.
I don't know.
Oh, that. So
See?
they do that stupid little dance with it.
See? She knows.
I have no idea what this is.
Never.
No. And you know what? It sounds like a lot of random hip-hop artists today. It's auto-tuned, generic beat, and, you're off to the races.
You're not wrong, but that's
like, I don't think I'm crazy when I say that. I'm just like, okay.
That's what people like. That's what people are listening to now.
Okay, but I do like this. Is what is it with a dab of ranch? What is it? Sour cream with a dab of ranch. Okay, Sarah. So go ahead. You could go ahead and make the noise. Let's open these mothers up.
Is it appropriate to put Look at My Dab in the background?
I don't know if we'd get in trouble, but oh wow.
Oh, just in case my mom listens to this episode for whatever reason. Love you, Mom. Hi. I'm talking to her right now.
Okay. Manuel?
I want to try them.
It smells like sour cream and onion.
Do you know what? I'm kind of happy the lady wasn't judging me when I was buying these. Not just because... But she was genuinely kind, and she said, have you tried these before? I said, no. I showed these to my boyfriend last week, so me, him, and a friend were going to try them tonight. And I asked her, have you? She says, no, but let me know how they are. And I'm just like, okay. It's
Okay.
like you work here.
Okay.
So these are basically Lay's.
That smells like sour cream.
In a sense, yeah. I mean, this tastes like a sour cream and onion potato chip.
Ooh, I do like the hint of ranch though. Instead of onion.
Okay, now I gotta ask: were these bags of chips overpriced because they're hip hop?
No, they were $1.38 each.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I would have pegged them at like $3 a bag.
No.
Did they only come in?
$3.98.
Did they only come in one size?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Wow.
that
That's
tastes
not bad
like.
either.
Let me try that Cardi B one. All right.
They're good. They taste just like the Lay's chips. If you've ever seen barbecue cheddar, that's the Cardi B one, and then this one, that's the French onion, or I'm sorry, French. Oh, just sour cream and ranch, which tastes like the Lay's sour cream and onion green bag.
I'm not gonna lie.
They're good.
This cheddar barbecue has got a little kick to it,
It does.
and it is good.
The bag's way too
I'm
big for
having
what's
deja
in
vu right now. That's so weird.
Really?
Yeah.
because of the
Oh yeah, look at that.
No, of him saying that about chips.
So, like, I guess most potato chips bags, half of it is full, and then the other half is air.
Air.
But they're going to charge you full price.
Yeah. I mean, I'll pay $1.38 for this. That's
Yeah. It's good to take on a road trip or whatever. I don't know if you'd want to just like buy those on the regular because they're not as readily available. You got to go more out of your way to find whatever these are.
Well, I found these at the Murphy's gas station. So if you're by a Walmart, which they're everywhere.
Uh-huh.
But I have not checked other gas stations.
I have
So they
not
might.
seen these.
I saw them in 2017, but obviously I was like, no.
Because you can't put stock into like it's not unreliable, unproven product. You don't know. You just don't know.
And it's not just their faces, their name. Their name is on there too.
I can't stand Cardi B's face on this bag, though. I mean, I know it's a sketch.
It's the
Yeah.
album cover
But
that she
it's-
had for her most successful album.
Is this supposed to be her on the back?
I think so, yeah.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Or is that?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, okay. So let me get a good look.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Looks like she's in the dress from her music video.
Oh, so the sketches are pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Being successful in life and in the music business is all about being true to who you are, knowing your self-worth, never sweating the small things, and always following your gut instincts. If you follow this rule of thumb, it will eventually create a recipe for success. Cardi B.
How come
She
gets
said
a
that?
little- How come she gets a quote and they don't?
She said that. I don't think she said that.
No.
I mean, that's what it says right there. Cardi B, watch out.
Did it finish with okrr?
Well, I don't know her speaking pattern habits, but possibly. And they were just.
OKERRRR.
And then whoever published this was like, I don't know how to spell. What is it? Brr?
Yeah, no, bro. She didn't say that. It'd be more like, yeah, I'm saying, ow, ow.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know. Is that going too far?
By the way, she talked about being never giving up or giving your best or self-worth or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the dress. And now I remember. That's the dress, the red dress she wore the night she was throwing her shoe at Nicki Minaj at the award show or at some
So
Met
she
Gala.
said this prior to that.
That was
And they're like, that's a
right
good-
before she did it.
Yeah.
They quoted her.
And they're like, here we go. We're going to put that on a bag of potato chips.
Wow.
So she threw
Trash.
her shoe at Nicki Minaj.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
That was trashy.
It was.
I was very proud and actually on Nicki Minaj's side
Nicki,
for.
yeah.
She was like, okay, I'm gonna stay
Wow.
elegant.
Not,
Like,
not the place or the time, how, but whatever.
thank you,
Oh my God.
because it was at an award show that they shouldn't have been at.
It was like a Met Gala or something like really fancy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Wow. Now I remember. I would have just said, oh yeah, it's an MTV
Honey,
award.
do hood rat stuff with your friends after the nice stuff.
Oh my God.
You a stupid hoe.
I know.
That's
Don't
Nicki's song.
don't judge me. Y'all.
My
That was just
God.
a joke. That was just a joke.
So check this out. So last week, I talked about all the movie franchises that have multiple installments in comparison to the Fast and Furious. And it was just kind of like to shed light of look at how many movies have all these franchises, or how many franchises have so many installments in their franchise. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I said that right. But anyway, obviously I missed a few, quite a bit. And it was pointed out to me after the fact. So I'm just going to rattle off a whole lot more just to be like, you know, Fast and Furious beats out.
But you had a good start.
I did.
You weren't going to cover everything.
No. But the last two on this list, Fast and Furious, need to catch up. All the rest of them, they're either tied or they beat. Okay? So, Underworld. We all know what that is.
True that.
Lycans versus vampires. They have 5. Home Alone. There are 5 of those. There are 5 Jurassic Park movies. 5 Starship Troopers. 5 Anaconda movies. There are, as we now know, 5 Boogeyman movies.
Can we go really back just like to Home Alone?
Yeah.
You said 5?
Yes, there are 5.
Because I know the third one is with that kid.
I mean, well, they're all with kids.
No, with that one kid who was a successor to Macaulay, who was also in like another movie and another movie. Like,
I don't remember the kid in 3.
I think 4 and 5 aren't numbered, and one of them is Taking Back the House.
Ew.
So you got Home Alone 1, 2, and 3, and then they stopped numbering them.
Home Alone 1, 2, and 3, and then you said one was probably Taking Back.
One
the
of them
House.
is for sure called Taking Back the House, but I don't know if that's 4 or 5. When
So-
I was looking these up and I was like, Jesus Christ, there's 5 of these.
Taking Back the House, and then part 5 is Back in New York.
That I don't know. There are 6 Predator movies, 6 Lake Placids. There are 6 Paranormal Activities. I'm sorry that I left that out last week. Completely forgot. There are 6 Step Up movies. Who here watches Step Up?
I did.
I never once saw it.
How far did you get?
Probably 2, 3.
Step Up is dancing, right? That's the
Yeah.
no singing.
That's how Channing Tatum and Jenna met in the first Step Up.
Channing Tatum was in the first Step Up
Yeah.
movie?
Not just the first one, probably the second one too, right?
Yeah. But that's
Wow.
for the ideal couple. That's where that meet
Who's
on
Jenna?
movies that-
Jenna what?
She was Jenna Dewan Tatum, but
Just Jenna Dewan? now?
yeah, she was an actress. Or still
Oh.
is.
Well, okay.
But that's when they met.
Wow. Okay.
Jenna.
There are 7 RoboCop movies. So you have the original trilogy and then the remake. But after the original trilogy, RoboCop got his own show called the Prime Directives series, and there were 3 made-for-TV movies of that. So technically, there are 7 RoboCops. There are 7 movies in the Conjuring universe. There are 8 total Spider-Mans
Hold on, 7 Conjurings?
in the Conjuring universe. So you've got Conjuring 1 and 2. You have 3 Annabelles. You have The Nun and The Curse of La Llorona.
Dang.
And then coming up, we have The Crooked Man and then like The Conjuring 3. But those haven't been made yet.
He's mind blown right now.
I am.
You are mind blown? You didn't know that
La
La Llorona?
Llorona's part of that?
Yes. There is a quick insert of a priest from, I think, the second Conjuring movie or something. I don't know. When he popped up on screen, I was like, oh, so that's how they did it. Because I knew it was somehow tied in, but it wasn't obvious. And then there was that like 10-second scene of his face. And I was like, oh, there he is.
It was towards the end, wasn't it? When he was talking to the mom, the kids were stuck in the apartment or something.
Maybe. Like,
That's when he appeared with the mom because she was wanting advice.
yeah, I think so.
Well, I didn't see it. Maybe that's why.
Oh, okay. There are 8 Spider-Mans. There are 8 King Kong movies, 8 Alien movies. The Muppets have 10 movies.
Woo!
The Grudge has 12 movies.
Yikes.
And then The Ring has 13 movies in total.
That's appropriate.
And then there's a one crossover between these 2 movies called Sadeko versus Keiko, and it is on Shudder, and it is basically Freddy versus Jason of The Grudge versus The Ring.
I remember that.
Did you know that was a thing?
No.
was
God.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be a thing.
I mean, it's part of the series, but yes, it is a thing. You have to go to Shudder to watch that movie, and I really want to watch it, but I don't know enough about the franchises separately, so I don't feel that I'm good enough to watch Sadeko versus Keiko. And the trailer to it looked glorious, dude. It looked like just a fisticuffs of Japanese legend. It looked really dumb, but I'm a glutton for punishment.
Coffee.
Don't say it like that.
Oh, so check this out. The other night,
Wait. You're what?
when we were going to bed, I was telling Sarah about me watching the Boogeyman movies, right? So I wake her up and we're going to bed, and I tell her something of the effect of like, so I'm watching the Boogeyman, and I don't understand why the Boogeyman is called this. So do you remember when I told you about Sarah waking up? Like if I woke her up, she wouldn't
Yeah.
remember anything?
Yeah,
We
sometimes.
literally just talked about it.
Yeah.
Turns out I was right. I woke her up and she didn't remember this at all. So we're crawling in bed and I'm telling her about this horrible movie. And I'm telling about Amityville and Halloween and how it wants to be those movies. And she's like, that's nice, honey. That's nice, honey. And then as we're getting into bed, I'm thinking she's either mocking me or she's not understanding what the conversation is. And she pulls the blanket up and she goes,
Good night.
and she goes, why do you do this to yourself? And I said, because there's something wrong with me. And then I pulled up my side of the blanket. And then that was, and so I was like,
I love you too, good night.
it was, why are you doing this to yourself?
Oh my god.
So then when I tell her like a day later, I was like, do you remember this conversation? She goes, no. I said, well, this is how it went.
Dude, I popped last night.
She was laughing so hard.
Why do you do this to yourself?
That was such a genuine question.
On her way back to the room.
Yeah.
In my slumbering state.
That's nice, honey. That's nice, honey. A broken mirror. Okay, honey. Yeah, there was a spirit of a man that was trapped in a mirror that when he was released, it had to be broken. And I was like, what is happening in this movie? Oh, God.
Why do you do this to yourself?
Because I remember talking to her briefly about Hellraiser, and I was like, did you know that Hellraiser 4 is both a sequel and a prequel and is in space? I'm like, it's a sequel because it's in the future, but it's a flashback movie to how Hellraiser became Hellraiser. So dumb.
It doesn't make sense.
And it's in space.
And it's in space, obviously, because it's in the future. And so when Sarah was getting into bed for that, she was like, it's a what? It's a sequel and a prequel, and it's in space. Okay. Good night. It was just one of those things. I'm like, and, you know, you have to kind of reflect a little bit, like, what am I doing with myself? Okay, so we are here to talk about creepy clowns and everything that happened in the, you know, the 2016 craze and all that sort of stuff. And then at the very end, we're going to talk about the documentary that we watched the other night, Wrinkles the Clown. From history.com, according to Benjamin Radford, author of Bad Clowns, it is strange to ask when clowns actually went bad because they were never really good to begin with. He explains that clowns are tricksters, and this is one of the oldest and most pervasive archetypes in the world, like Satan is in the Bible. The trickster can be both funny and scary, and it could be hard for people to identify if he is in fact lying or not. One of the most recognizable tricksters is the Harlequin, who was the figure who emerged in Italian comedy theater in the 16th century. So when you think of the Harlequin, I think most people nowadays would think of Harley Quinn, you know, especially from the comic books and the animated stuff that she's been doing, where she wears that. Is it a leotard?
Yeah.
What kind of outfit is that? And it's got
Or a
like
unitard.
It's got like the diamonds on it, or maybe the hearts, and she's got her face painted. Maybe not so much what she's done in the movie, you know, Suicide Squad and all that, but yeah. Clowns had continued to appear in European culture throughout the 19th century. In Charles Dickens' novel The Pickwick Papers, an alcoholic clown was featured. And in the late 1800s and 90s, French and Italian theater featured murderous clowns. So this has been going on for quite a long time. It was in 1924 when American audiences were introduced to a vengeful, bitter clown in the silent film He Who Gets Slapped. And 15 years later, DC Comics gave us the Joker in their Batman issues. It was in the 50s and 60s that America met a few clowns that were forever happy, such as Ronald McDonald and Bozo the Clown. Now, as a kid, I was not scared of Ronald because he brought me food, but I was terrified of Bozo. And I just wondered, are y'all familiar with Bozo?
I can't picture him right now.
Who's Ronald? I'm just kidding.
Wow. Bozo the Clown, he wore a blue jumpsuit or some sort, right? And he had like red puffy hair, what I thought was sticking out of his ears. But, you know, he had a big red nose or whatever. And like, I don't know. It was just something about him that I just always thought was sketchy.
Yeah.
He had his own kid's show. And I was like, I'm not about that because you're creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
He also didn't bring me food. Keep in mind, I was a chubby little butterball. So I was always hungry.
I'm Googling the image so I can refresh my mind about Bozo.
About Bozo the Clown? Take one good look at him and tell me that you're not, like, freaked out by him.
See,
Oh,
I thought Ronald
do
McDonald
remember
was a
him.
sketch.
Yep.
Show her who Bozo is. That sumbitch.
Oh, wow.
Look at that fucking face.
Whoa, dude.
Dude.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. No, that is.
He is scary. Have I told you about the clown picture that my mom had in the house when I was a kid?
Yes. And
Manuel,
how it seemed to follow y'all everywhere.
it was a very, very creepy, realistic type of. It wasn't a painting; it was a portrait somehow.
But it looked like a hobo dressed as a clown.
Yeah, it was kind of like a hobo, and it felt like it was like It felt like it was a 3-dimensional picture, and I know it wasn't. And this is just my mind's eye trying to remember what this was. But my mother, for whatever reason, my mother has always loved clowns, which for the most part has been okay. But it was just one picture that was hanging in the hallway outside of our bathroom, outside of our bedroom. And in our old childhood home, it would be at the end of a long hallway that led to our bedroom. So if we wanted to go to bed, the last thing we saw was this clown staring at us. And it was always unsettling because I felt like his eyes would follow me. And I never liked it, and my dad hated it. So when we moved and we were unpacking and stuff, my mom was like, hey, what happened to like that clown thing?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
my dad was like, well, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Have y'all seen it? And we're just like, wait, it's no.
Dad, you're chiming in quite a lot. I'm not saying you're guilty of anything, but it sure sounds like it.
Never saw it again. Once we moved out of the house, it was done. And I'm forever grateful for that. And what's crazy is that I've never seen that image again. Because like if I saw it, I would know it.
Yeah.
Never seen it on the internet or like at thrift stores or whatever. I fully am prepared that if I ever came across it, I'd be like, Sarah, here it is. Look at this.
But you just found out who Migos was, and they're a multi-platinum artist. Like,
in my defense, if it isn't Taylor Swift, I'm not willing to give it really much of a try. I'm not into hip hop, and I listen to podcasts and books.
They had a song with Katy Perry. Never mind.
I mean, Katy Perry's alright. Okay, so it was in the late 70s and early 80s that the sinister influence of one John Wayne Gacy shifted the public's opinions about clowns. Gacy was a serial killer who occasionally dressed as a clown named Pogo. Once he was in prison for the murders of at least 25 people, Gacy would draw self-portraits of himself as Pogo, which helped cultivate the image of a killer clown. Throughout cinema over the years, there have been several evil clowns such as the Joker, Billy the Puppet from Saw, the doll from Poltergeist, Pennywise, the dancing clown from It, Art the Clown from the movie Terrifier, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and Are You Afraid of the Dark and the Killjoy movies. Anybody heard of the Killjoy movies?
No.
No?
I might have.
I forgot to even add him in here. Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal.
That's right.
doesn't-
You want his tattoo?
I do. I love that sort of stuff. Are there any other evil clowns from cinema that I may have overlooked?
It?
Well, no, he was there.
You said it?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Oh, you said okay.
Sarah, is
Who
there
looks
more?
a lot like Bozo. I think.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
The original incarnation of Pennywise does look a lot like Bozo. Instead of wearing blue, he's wearing yellow.
Yeah.
Good observation. I missed that. Sarah, is there more that you can tell us about the psychology of the fear of clowns?
Yeah. Do y'all know what the actual terminology for clown phobia is?
You say it first. We'll say it at the same time.
Oh, yeah, we could totally do that. No, Sarah, you go ahead and tell us.
So it's colorophobia, which means persistent and irrational fear of clowns. It possibly originates from Greek colon, meaning stilt or stilt walkers, which are creepy. And I want to say we can see that at the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, yeah, there's people that walk around on stilts all the time.
It's creepy. The word clown might even originate from a rustic country bumpkin, farmer, yokel, or someone who lacks common sense.
And that is a general description of what a clown would be?
Yeah.
God, it sounds like me when I was growing up.
They're saying this also might have originated the word clown from these terminologies.
I mean, didn't they say it? Don't people use something like that? I was like, don't listen to that clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was said about me many times growing up.
Yeah. Well, aren't you just a clown?
Yeah. But granted, I was kind of working against myself. I was trying to be the class clown, which, looking back, it's not a really good title to have.
No.
In the end, no one
can't
takes
take you
serious.
serious.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, if you're in a life-threatening situation, they'll be like, "Oh, you just messing. Why you play too much?"
and then I'm dead.
Boy, you play too much.
And sorry to say, honey, but that kind of carries over now.
Yeah.
You just don't learn.
Remember when me and Zach hit that deer? Did I tell you about that?
No?
What about you? Did I tell you about that?
You and Zach hitting a deer? No.
Yeah, we were coming back from the Renaissance Festival, and this was in his old car. We hit a deer on the way back, totaled his car. And, obviously he can't drive the vehicle. We need a tow car, a tow truck. He calls his parents, and his dad sets him up with roadside assistance and all that stuff. And then Zach's calling friends and family. He's like, hey, crazy thing. This just happened. So I'm doing the same thing with my cell phone. And everyone that I'm texting and telling is telling me, oh, that's so funny. You keep playing. No one took me seriously. And everyone on Zach is like, and his side is, asking him if he's okay. Are we going to be okay? Do we have a way home? And I'm just like, I wish someone would ask me if I was okay.
Aww.
Everyone just kind of says, oh, you jokester. And they just ignore me.
Boy, you too much.
It's like, and Zach was just like, well, you need to stop playing so much. And I said, I guess.
You do, honey.
A tear just like shed.
Well, okay. The way I described it was, hey, we hit Bambi. And maybe that's not the appropriate
Honey.
way.
Even how you told the news, how you broke the news to your family and friends was we hit Bambi.
Yeah. But
Well,
yeah,
guess,
that was me.
Guess Rudolph won't be coming this Christmas.
God.
Continue, Sam. Okay. This is just a huge insight into the type of life that
See,
I've
we're
lived.
having a psychological moment with you.
We love you.
And they're like, so you acknowledge that watching these movies is bad for your health. You know that, right? And I'm like, yeah, I guess.
So these individuals who have the fear of clowns, it's almost symptoms of a anxiety attack. They feel shaken and traumatized at the sight or even mere thought of clowns. A study conducted by a hospital in UK showed that decorating a children's ward with images of clowns actually backfired when more than 250 children in the age groups of 4 to 16 reported disliking the images.
Oh.
And it's not just children suffering from this. Of course, it leads to adulthood. Many people having specific anxiety disorders are middle-aged adults. Media novels, so like Pennywise.
So it's kind of like, if you scare the kid with Pennywise the Clown, if you scare them as a child, they're going to grow up not liking clowns or being weary of them. Kind of like when I saw Jaws. As soon as I was done watching that movie, I didn't want to go to the beach. I didn't even want to go to the public pool, even though it's like a big pool and you're not in the ocean. Mm-hmm. I was like, nah, I can't see to the bottom of the deep end of the pool. Jaws is down there and he's going to get me.
Wow.
It was pretty bad.
I've been in the pool. I've been in the pool before, and I thought, is that a shark? And I'm like, I know it's the pool, but what if somebody brought one? Anyway.
Anyway, so the verse of the causes for this. The clown or the fool was the, quote, village idiot who was allowed to be blasphemous. He might have been harmless, eccentric, and who was obscenely humorous or uninhibited in sexual acts.
Wow.
So that was the only time when it was allowed to be stupid and mocking, was when you were chosen by your majesty.
So, was he allowed to be physically vulgar?
Yeah. And everyone thought it was okay. They thought it was funny.
Now, I wonder, is this him doing it to himself, or was he allowed to grab a woman by her breast and be like, "Oh, look at how funny! Look what I'm doing."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, it's just a joke," and the woman's just cool with that.
It's just Jim being funny.
Wow.
Put those maracas down.
Wow.
As he pulls her knockers out, and he goes, "No, never mind."
Oh. I see motorboats are boo.
And it's just an easy workaround. He's like, I'm gonna motorboat the fuck out. But it's in the old Roman times. There's what is a motorboat? Mm-hmm. But he's still I'm gonna do it.
Because obviously,
I mean, that's what it would be called, even in the old Game of Thrones times.
They probably called them rattlers or something.
I'm gonna rattler them knockers.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is awful.
ooh, my pants are catapulting.
Whoa.
Gotta stay in,
So, of course, the symptoms would be sweating, nausea, feelings of dread, accelerated heartbeat, and rapid breathing, crying or screaming, or feeling angry at being placed in a situation where clowns are present, which,
Oh God.
yeah. That's
you-
very high functioning anxiety for this fear. Because we can say we don't like clowns because, yeah, they look creepy or they're just grotesque looking.
Yeah.
But we can look at them and just be like, ugh.
Can you imagine if
It's unnatural.
Can you imagine if you're a child and you don't know that you're afraid of clowns, and then you're like at your own birthday party, and then a clown walks in the room, and you're like, "What the fuck is that?"
It's unnatural. It's different. It's like, whoa, what is that?
And he's
And
like, "Hey, kids," and you're just like, "Oh my God."
No.
Oh yeah, Krusty the Clown. There you go.
Yeah, Krusty.
I knew I was forgetting one.
Krusty.
Well, I mean, he's not evil, but there was that episode where
He's not.
he was the evil doll trying to kill Homer.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that.
He's not. Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And of course, treatment is you can seek therapy or just not put yourself in that kind of situation.
That's basically all that is.
Pretty much.
I really
Help
wonder, like,
yourself, fool.
I really wonder, like, what is kind of therapy? Like, when you sit down with someone to have this conversation for therapeutic purposes, how do you tackle this problem?
Just like everything else. How did the clown make you feel? Is my voice calming enough?
Are there people that have a phobia of therapists?
I'm pretty sure there is.
But because even if there is, how do you then treat them? Because obviously you have to be a therapist.
I'm gonna look right.
But if they have an irrational fear of therapists, you kind of like,
So I know you're hating.
I'm just
it
spinning
here.
my wheels here, buddy.
I know you're hating it here. Okay, but
these are actually really good.
yeah.
You want some more?
No, I'm good.
You don't want to taste no more Cardi B?
Honestly. No. The chips were good. Yeah.
Yeah. These actually aren't that bad.
Can I have some?
Oh, Blue Whale.
Yeah, I want to taste them. Just could you crush and put them in water?
Ew.
But that's how I eat.
Oh my God.
Oh wow. The
What?
fear of therapy is called psychotherapy.
Wow.
Yeah. Talking with a mental health professional can help you manage your specific phobia. Exposure therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy are the most effective treatments. Exposure therapy focuses on changing your response to the object or situation that you fear. That doesn't answer my fucking question. I want to know the terminology for. Okay, hold. Oh, that's the fear of driving.
What? Whoa. What?
No, some people can't drive, bro.
Vehophobia, or fear of driving, is a very real issue suffered by many people.
Wow.
Fair enough.
My aunt can't.
Like, is she scared to actually drive? Or
Yeah.
she doesn't physically think she could have the motor functions to do it?
Yeah, like she thinks of like the worst case scenario where she, because of her, may cause like an accident that kills other people.
Wow.
So she literally will she will break down sitting behind the steering wheel. Just sitting because of what it could lead
of
to.
what could happen. Wow.
Crippled.
You know, I never thought that my grandmother never drove. And for such a little old lady, she was able to get anywhere she wanted by using other people.
Hey, bro, but that is one thing that I admire for some people, right? That no gender attached. Just when people put their minds to it or they need to do something, they will.
Yeah. Wow. Fear of driving. Yeah. Did you ever find, what was the question that you asked?
Oh, what's the fear of therapists or phobia of therapists?
Okay. Did anything pop up other than psychotherapy?
Maybe there isn't.
There's one called scopophobia.
What's that?
Oh, never mind. That's showing how treatment. Never mind.
That's when you
See,
drop
I
your
just suck
pants.
at reading. I don't know why I even offer to do the psychological part when I just hate reading.
God.
See, fear of large objects.
Oh, like skyscrapers?
We
or
could
what?
do a whole podcast about all these.
We could.
This is megalophobia, is the fear of large objects. The object in question can run the gamut. Is that the word?
Gambit? Yeah.
Yeah. For large ships to airplanes and large animals to towering sculptures. It is different for everyone, and there's a treatment available to help you deal with this phobia.
That is incredible. You know, it's
I thought
so
you were gonna
stunning
say-
to just find all these different phobias.
There's a fear of hair.
I guess that it might fall into your mouth or something.
Yeah.
Chatophobia is a rare phobia which causes an irrational, abnormal, and persistent fear of hair. The word is derived from Greek, which means loose flowing hair, and phobos, meaning aversion or fear.
Yeah, here's Manuel with all his crazy hair, and
Yeah.
here am I. And I don't have any.
But is it because you're afraid? Is that why you're bald?
No, it's because my goddamn hairline was going higher and higher, and I was like, nope, not today.
Damn, man, I'm trying. Come on, man.
I was going Hulk Hogan naturally, and I said, brother, I ain't gonna do that, man. That was a horrible, I don't even know what accent that was. I'm not gonna lose my hair, brother.
Yeah, rest in peace, right?
Yeah. What else did you find?
I mean, do you really want me to keep going?
I mean, you want to earmark it for a later episode? We could do a whole
Sure,
episode
'cause
on
there's
phobias.
a ton here.
Okay. All right. Well, then I will just keep moving on. The clown scare of 2016, as it was referred, this was a craze that happened back in August of 2016. So when you think of this happening, it actually didn't happen throughout the entire year. It happened between the month of August and like October or November. There was a very short period of time, but it just kind of blew up, and we feel like it took the entire year. This involved people disguising themselves as evil clowns in incongruous settings such as near forests or schools. There's a lot of S's in those sentences. Reports of clown sightings were sprinkled throughout the United States, Canada, and other territories around the world. It seems to have started in Green Bay, Wisconsin, but it was later revealed to be the marketing stunt for a small horror movie. Later that year in South Carolina, a young 9-year-old boy told his mother that 2 suspicious males dressed as clowns tried to lure him into the woods. By October 2016, the clown sightings and attacks had been reported in nearly all 50 states, 9 out of 13 provinces in Canada, and 18 other countries.
Even Canada, huh?
Yes, it did. It just kind of like spread like wildfire. Throughout this time, the internet and social media sites received numerous postings related to the clown sightings, so much so that the World Clown Association president Randy Christensen took a stance against the trend of people dressing up as clowns to frighten people. Yeah, did you know that there was a World Clown Association?
That's what made me laugh. He had it. He had to make a statement.
Yeah.
So this enough is enough.
I guess if you go, I mean, obviously there's clown colleges and there's a way for you to be properly trained to become a clown. But yeah, I guess if you climb that ladder high enough, you could become a world member of the World Clown Association.
Wait, are you for real about the clown college?
There are clown colleges. Did you not know that?
More than one?
Yeah. Obviously, it's a college that, I mean, it's a trait that can be taught to people. Did you think there was one clown college in the United States?
I thought that it was just like a training school or something. Maybe, if that.
But not actually considered a college, like a technical school.
Yeah.
Like, are you talking about like it's its own building and all that? And it
Yeah.
would come to this clown college? I mean, I'm sure there's courses. I don't know where you would go. Isn't Becky Lynch trained as a clown?
I have no idea. She has the hair for it.
I don't know if it was Becky Lynch or was it Bailey, but I know Sasha Banks is married to a clown.
Stop. They're wrestlers.
Yeah, I know that, but she's like married. Isn't her man a clown? Like an actual clown?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, and then I could swear that Becky Lynch at one point was training to be a clown to like make money.
Dang.
It's not like I could be wrong.
But how do you train to... What? Maybe I just haven't seen clowns do great things.
I mean, you go to Santa school or whatever to become Santa Claus, to
No,
be
you
Santas
don't.
like in malls and stuff. Yeah, you got to go and there's like, here's how you interact with people. This is how you dress. You know, do the ho ho ho. You know, that's.
I just learned that in a second.
Yeah,
What
well,
else are you going to teach me?
I think you also have to be like maybe a bit of a public speaker. You also have to be good with
You are
kids.
kidding.
I'm
Are
not
you
kidding.
talking out your ass?
No, and like you don't think that being a clown takes some level of skill? You have to be able to tell jokes. You
Bro,
have to use your
earlier
body. have
you
to
acted
perform
like
for
a
kids.
clown, and I don't. Have you ever been to one of those classes?
No, I was emulating what I saw Krusty do.
See,
Oh God.
I just don't think that there's much to learn. Like you might go 1 day or two, and then what?
That I don't know. Maybe they help you. It's like, hey, do you have an idea for a name? What is your image that you want? And you're like, well, I was thinking of doing this. And then like the other clown professionals would be like, how about you do this? This is what you need. This is how you do the balloon animals and all that sort of stuff. If you're going to do magic.
If you go to class, right?
Yeah.
It's 8 hours, bro.
Okay.
Let's say you go 2 days. So they're like, okay, yesterday and the day before that, we learned all the tricks. So today we're going to blow up some balloons because I have a big party. We'll give you class credits.
Okay.
And wait, is this free labor? Shut your face. You know? I don't know. What do you really learn after 2 days?
I don't know. He's like, hey, how many gimmicks can you fit into your pants? I don't know. I'm a clown. How much is supposed to be there? A minimum of 15. What?
Or it's like when you're learning a different language, it's like, you got to ask me in clown language.
Yeah. You know, and they're just like dance, stomp, honk, honk, you know?
Yeah, but you have to be in character. You can't
Yeah,
be
of
like...
course. You're not just going to be Greg, the
accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not just going to, you can be like, you can be Gregory, the dancing happy clown or something.
Can I go to the restroom?
He's like, how was your laugh this morning? Nah, it's not going to fly, dude. You need to do your clown laugh.
There you go. Now you can go to the restroom.
I honestly didn't think this conversation was going to go this way. You've heard of clown colleges, right?
No.
I think that's fake.
Well, remember on Degrassi?
Yeah.
When they took their career aptitude test,
Yeah.
Spinner had his top 3, or 1 and 2 was number 1 was Clown College.
Yeah.
And number 2 was Police Academy.
Wow.
So
One
just
of
kinda
those exists.
I know. They have at least 7 movies of that. Police Academy.
It's on your list.
Can you do a quick Google search to see if there's a clown college in Houston?
Clown. Yes, I want to see.
Or if there's like an actual class that
U
one
of
can
H
take.
has like 3 intermediate.
And then Sarah's like, they're number 2 in the nation, right behind New York City of clown aptitude studies.
Who's sponsoring this? Like, where are they getting the money from? From the Police Academy.
Oh my
There's
god.
one in Missouri City.
Turn my mic
But
off.
it looks like it's out of someone's home because it's a nonprofit.
Okay.
And wow, I work in Missouri City.
Oh my god. You should totally drive by this house.
No.
Just take a picture and send it to me. Be like, look, I found the clown college.
Hi, where do I apply? Or is there an application process? We're about to all go eat. Do you want to go eat? Oh, it's not for me. You still want to go eat?
I mean,
No,
everybody's got to eat.
You know, I just ate. Thanks, though. All right, shoot yourself.
But there's one for Houston, and it's called cheerfulclowns.com. Clown School Houston, learn to be a clown, clowning school.
What does it say as a punchline? Graduated in a week.
See?
Oh,
And they have been training clowns since 1982.
there you go, Manuel. Longer
Established-
than you've been walking this earth, man.
Established 1982.
My oldest brother was 2 years old.
Oh,
This clown school is older than the Ninja Turtles, bro. Think about that.
I am.
That means they are an institution.
Topics to be addressed include makeup application, costuming, juggling, balloon twisting, face painting, and much more. Most classes will be Tuesday evenings from 6 to 9 in the Spring Branch area, so that kind of specifies where it is, with 2 Saturday sessions from 9 to 4. Classes begin, well, this is in 2009, so it's not accurate right now. Classes begin June 11th and end August 10th.
Wow.
So it's a couple months.
It was a thing.
Any donations will help. We need your help now
here.
more than ever.
Tuition is $185 plus $22 for background check. Thank goodness. And includes 35 plus hours of class time, starter makeup kit, textbooks,
There's textbooks.
yeah, Alley membership dues, and a full day workshop with a celebrity guest instructor.
I have questions now. Obviously, I can't ask them. This is a total deep dive that we could talk about something later. It's like, how do you become a proper clown? This is what you got.
That you're a celebrity guest.
Dude, who the fuck could the celebrity
Ladies and
guest
gentlemen, Bozo.
be? The
He rolls in a wheelchair and he's like, They
have special events during the clown school. They have a clown garage sale, which is a swap meet for entire alley and a good way for students to outfit your new clown at a bargain price. The full day workshop with a celebrity guest instructor. There will be volunteer field trip Saturday in June.
to go where?
A graduation show. A few weeks after graduation, another all-day jam where things learned can be practiced with more detailed instruction provided. And they were talking about when we won't have classes, when tuitions are due. Classes are limited only to registered paid students and Cheerful Clown Alley members. No visitors, please.
Wow.
And students under the age of 16 must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. No, but I'm just like, if my kid were to tell me they want to go to clown school, I'll tell them, can you wait till you graduate high school?
Hey, sweetheart, who told you about this? I need to talk to them.
I was listening to a show called the Six Sad Cast, and they talked about evil clowns. And one of the topics that they did was about clown college, and it sounded like a good idea, and I want to do it. Thanks, bye.
That was cute, honey.
You were listening to what? Oh, I'm sorry. Six Sad Podcast or Six Sad Cast Podcast.
That's what I thought you said.
Oh, meanwhile, Bo's is still in the class, and he's like, "Show of hands, who smokes?"
All right, I see you. I'll teach you how to make that unicorn, with the balloons for 3 cigarettes.
Can I bum one right now?
Who's got dip? I do. Okay.
That's what one of them sounds like?
Yeah, I do. And that's their normal accounting voice. That's Greg the accountant right there.
Buzz is looking down on him. You're going to need to work on your voice, son.
Oh, God.
I can't. Okay, so back to The Office. Speaking of creepy voices and creepy faces, I can't stand Kevin.
Oh, my God. What's wrong with his voice?
Well, for one, he's missing his upper lip. It's just all bottom lip. And he's just too animated with his mouth. And he's just creepy.
You need to understand, Sarah. It is just a bit.
You need to curve the points of your mouth when you talk.
I don't know how to do that.
Like you go like this. That's
No, I need you to straight up show me.
No.
And I need you to do the Kevin voice.
I can't.
Okay. I don't know if my
try.
Kevin was good. It sounded okay in my ears, but I don't know. It was probably bad. I'll hear it in post.
It wasn't bad.
Well, during this whole scare, the World Clown Association had to step in with its president saying, look, we're not a part of this. We don't stand up for none of this stuff. On top of all of that, circuses and other clown-related businesses did suffer from the scare in October of 2016.
Could you say funny business?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Pun intended.
And McDonald's decided that Ronald McDonald was to be kept at a lower profile in this time as well. So between October and December, they were like, Ronald, we're going to give you a 3-month paid vacation. Go hit the bricks, boy. And that's what they're just like, we need this to blow over, son.
He's got like a mountain of cocaine on his kitchen table, and he's getting read this, and he's like, that's fine. God. I knew times like these would come. And he has to go places like when they hide wrestlers from the Royal Rumble with like a towel on their head and stuff.
Wow. Instead of just taking the makeup off.
Yeah.
It's like a luchador. You never go anywhere in public without your mask. Mm-hmm. Yep. He never goes in public without his makeup. He's just like, no, I can't let people see who I am. He's like, but they're never going to know that it's you. Like, take off the goddamn makeup. They don't know what you look like underneath it. He's like, no, man. It's part of the bit. Like, when you're in it for the long haul. I'm going to die in this makeup.
They're going to recognize the tattoos. You literally have them covered.
And then it's like, wait, you have tattoos?
Full body.
Oh, my God.
But they're covered.
I know, you'd never know.
So I remember this year, and I was telling Nick about it. At the time, the person I was with, for Halloween, instead of going to haunted houses, I wanted to go on ghost walks in Houston. So we went to Herman Park, and one of the tour guides, he would normally dress as a clown in a tuxedo, I think. And he said...
He went to clown school.
Maybe. And he said, yeah, so he was just dressed like in his regular tux and top hat. And he said, yeah, I couldn't do my clown makeup. They wouldn't allow me this year. I was like, oh. I said, that's kind of a shame because it's affecting your gig.
Mm-hmm. And he
what
didn't
did he
ask
say? Thanks, Obama.
My God, I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
Everyone
don't
was-
forget that was a thing.
Everybody was blaming him for like stupid stuff. He's like, "Oh, the printer's out of paper again." Oh, thanks, Obama. This evil clown craze did lead to a spike in evil clown costume sales for that Halloween, and some residents in Florida even went trick-or-treating armed.
Dang.
So there is a silver lining. They made a killing on that evil clown costume.
Was that a pun?
I'm not even entirely sure. What do you?
Like killer clown, a killing.
Oh God, no! I wasn't trying to make a
killing.
pun. No, I don't think I'm very clever when it comes to making puns. But
You hate them too, don't you?
I do. I don't really enjoy puns.
Who was it that kept making puns and you're like, this is awful? I think it was the Rangers.
Me
It was
in his
her.
dream.
It was her. In a
Oh,
dream
that's
that I had.
right. That's right.
And it was fucking awful. By
So
the end,
apparently I said a pun yesterday and I didn't know.
I don't even remember what the pun was.
Well, it wasn't to you, it was to my client.
Oh God.
So people are commenting on my hair
Uh-huh.
and it's like, okay, thanks. It's still, I said, it's growing on me. He's like, is that a pun? I was like, it wasn't intended to be, but yeah.
Nice.
It's grown on her that much.
Yeah.
Just a smidge in the week or 10 days that she's had it.
But I've said it to other people and they didn't catch on. So I just was like, yeah, it's not a pun.
Oh man.
It is, though. It is.
It is a pun. Yeah, but the dream that I did have, for more context here, is that when me and Sarah started dating, I had this dream that I was telling Zach. I was like, yeah, man, I think Sarah's like it. She's perfect. For the exception of one thing. And he was like, whoa, what is it? And then it was, in the dream, it was me talking about her one fatal flaw. And it turns out that Sarah, like, has a thing for puns. And so then my dream rattled off
funny.
like 20 random puns. And they were all awful. But she was like so excited for every pun that she did. And it came to the point where I was like in the next room and she'd say a pun. And I would like smack the table. I'd be like, no.
Probably because I perfected it.
And then at the end of the dream, I was just like, I think I'm done. Like, I can't be in this relationship.
It's over. It's because of puns. Oh, man.
It was a very amusing dream. And like, one of the puns that I remembered was being keyed into the situation. Like, I lost my keys. And then Sarah found them. And so she was jingling them in front of me. She was like, next time, you need to be more keyed into the situation. And I was like, oh my God. They weren't even clever puns. They were just silly, dumb ones. But they were puns. But they
Coming
were,
from the jokester himself.
hey, man, I've grown up a lot. A lot.
Quote that for the clown school. That's their final quote. I've grown up a lot. A lot.
On October 12th of 2016, the Russian embassy in London issued a warning for Russian and British citizens due to the clown scare. There were several costume shops in New Zealand who pulled down all clown costumes from their shelves. Here in the States, Target pulled all the clown masks from their shelves and their website. Smaller towns asked citizens not to dress up as clowns for Halloween, and employees at theme parks were required to remove all masks and makeup before leaving work. Some of the more things that went down this year, there was a school in Canada that was put in a lockdown after there was a sighting of a couple of evil clowns outside the perimeter of the school. There were two 12-year-old girls in Australia who were with parents having ice cream when they were attacked by two assailants dressed as clowns, and during the attack, one of the clowns tried to steal one of the cell phones. Two teenage boys dressed as clowns, they were arrested in the British Columbia after threats were made that put that school on lockdown. In New Brunswick, another clown was reported to police to be jumping out in front of cars to make them swerve. In Nova Scotia, some clowns were interfering with other traffic. In Ontario, some saw youngsters dressed as clowns recording YouTube videos as they chased smaller children as they left a Catholic school. So that is horrible. Do you guys want to go ahead and move on to the documentary that we watched?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So the main event here is the documentary called Wrinkles the Clown. This was released by Magnet Releasing on October 4th, 2019. It was directed by Michael Beach Nichols and Christopher K. Walker. It is an hour and 18 minutes and is a documentary about a man from Naples, Florida, who dresses as a clown who will come to your house and scare misbehaving children for a few $100s. The movie grossed about $14,983. Oh, gosh. Okay, so the obvious question here, when you go and watch the documentary, and we watched it on Hulu, You could also rent it off of YouTube and Amazon Prime and maybe a couple of other outlets. But that's how we watched it. It was on Hulu. Right out of the gate, did we like what we watched? Did y'all give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I was okay with it.
I like that they made the movie and they made it after the craze, so it didn't encourage it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to say it was a thumbs up. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it, but it was something that I went into thinking that I was probably really going to enjoy.
Yeah.
It did kind of fall flat towards the end, but overall it was enjoyable to me.
It was a good twist in there.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a little bit. Do you guys think that what Wrinkles is doing is right or wrong?
Look, man, people got to make money one way or another. I don't think he's the one that's in the wrong. I think it's the parents. You know? He's like, okay, I have a job.
I'm just doing a job, man.
Right. So
$50 is $50.
I'm not saying parents should smack their kids or go like, along those lines, but there are certain ways there's ways to discipline the kids without having to get a clown involved to scare them.
Sarah, what do you think? Do you think this was right or wrong?
I totally think it's partly failed parenting.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you had even said so
I did during the thing.
While we were watching it.
It's like, how about you just be better at parenting? Discipline your kids.
Yeah.
Because my mom is going to hate me saying this, but I always say it and I don't care because I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I was spanked. I was given the paddle. I was given the belt by both mom and dad, mostly dad, and I still love him to death.
Yeah.
I respect the man.
That's the thing is you have to teach them both. I'm sure your dad didn't just spank you all the time. He also taught you love, and he talked to you and showed you that he loved you. Like that,
Yeah.
he took care of you. Like, and that's the problem is some parents all they do is do the negative part. They do just the discipline. There are no small talks.
There's none of that. They're just pushovers.
Yeah.
So what happened to that sweet middle ground that what we grew up with? I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us at this table were spanked at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And I'm not saying I was spanked every day. It was when I was being a tyrant or I was being a little brat. And
you were over the line. It needed to get physical.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because now we implement that kind of discipline into work life, into personal life. It teaches you boundaries. And kids nowadays don't have boundaries. Because parents are saying, oh, it's child abuse. It's like, just because you didn't like it as a kid doesn't mean you can take that away from your child and let that affect your discipline.
Yeah. Were you ever told when y'all were spanked, this hurts me more than it hurts you?
No.
You were never told that?
No.
I've heard that.
I've heard it too. I don't remember if I was ever told that, but I kind of get it now. Like if I did have a kid and I had to spank them, like I don't even like spanking Sally when she's bad.
Dude, your hand went up and I thought you were going to say Sarah.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say...
No.
I don't like to do it when I have to do it with Sarah, but
Sally's over there.
No. When Sally ran outside and went under the house, when we got her back inside, that would have been a time to light her ass up.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Go
That's
out
when
there.
you can use that term that I'm going to whoop all that ass.
But when push comes to shove, I don't know if I could spank Sally. And I think a lot of it is she's old and frail. I might kill her if I spanked
I did
her.
it.
She spanked her.
And it was already a rough week I had. I cried every day that week.
Yeah.
So here we are, day 8. I'm crying again because I can't find Nick, can't find Sally. My parents are coming over, and I'm just like, no. So then once Sally comes in, I have no problem like spanking her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I did the bad thing. As soon as I spanked her, it hurt me more than it hurt you. So now let me coddle you and let you know that I love you. She doesn't care.
Her emotional buildup is not what ours is.
No, she's just like, oh, okay. I got hit on my butt for something.
Something's going on with her.
Probably exactly what she thought. Oh, I did.
And that little bitch, when I say throw her, we just kind of like tossed her on the ground. Whenever she came in, she just plopped right there because she's so exhausted.
What a day.
Bitch.
Oh, God. This little bitch.
God.
I love that cat so much. Okay, so do you consider this to be... Oh, okay. Do I feel what Wrinkles is doing right or wrong?
Yes, please tell us.
I kind of want to lean that he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not technically really breaking the law. He's there on permission from the parents. The kids don't know that. He is scaring them. What I want to know is after the fact, is it really sticking? You know, kind of like when a kid's acting really bad and they're like a juvenile, they go to a prison system and it's like they get scared straight. You know, that's what that's supposed to be. Is that considered child abuse? Because you're sending them somewhere to get yelled at and to be made feel small
by another human. As a kid, you don't know if this is you don't know what is happening.
Yeah.
So it's a different type of scare. That kind of scare can actually break you emotionally and actually scar you in a different way.
So is it any different of like, hey, you're being bad, Santa's not going to give you shit for Christmas?
Yeah.
Like when he comes and you're asleep, I'm going to tell him turn his big red ass around and he's gone. Like, and then your kid starts screaming and crying because it's like, no, Christmas is gone. Is that considered child abuse?
No, that's discipline. That's like saying you're grounded.
But sadly, nowadays, some would say, yeah, that's child abuse. Like, you're mentally abusing them.
How dare you take Christmas away? I dare because they were misbehaving.
I dare because they were being little shits.
It's
and
like,
now
I'm spending my money.
And now I'm saved. I'm saved $300. Thank you.
Yeah.
Christmas is not a right.
They're not giving
It is a
her
privilege.
It's a privilege. It's like when Santa comes, he and I are going to eat these cookies. And we're going to have a long talk about, I don't know, the bears.
So he's not bringing presents? Nope. Not this year.
You know what he's bringing? He's bringing stuff for mom and dad.
Now, I will say, I think the treatment is temporary because as we evolve, we test new boundaries. And of course, we learn things. So you have to learn new discipline to teach them in the new stage of life.
Yeah.
So like as teenagers, of course, we're not going to care what their threat is. So, which I think is why they developed juvenile detention. And heck, they have a reality TV show over it, whether that sticks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's an evolution period throughout. So I think for his demographic, it's perfect. Unless if that genuine fear carries over to a teenager and the parent decides to do that, I think that's kind of mean because it's a genuine fear that can cause an anxiety attack and you can actually die from a panic attack.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, don't do that.
Exactly.
There's
health. It affects your health.
yeah. So there's that. I would say that's going too far. But obviously, it was showing he was only hitting to like
Small
kids
children.
like 3 years old that can talk back
Yeah.
to barely
10?
preteen. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're being a little terror, Wrinkles is going to come. I don't know how they determined that. I guess it's just hysteria along the way that, oh, Wrinkles is going to come and kill you and eat you. And he was just like, no, man, that's not what I do. Like, what the fuck? How did that even start?
Yeah.
I'm just here to give you a boo, you know, something like that. There were some children featured in this documentary. There was one little girl that Manuel said looked a lot like Honey Boo Boo.
She did.
Which, you know, I was like, I don't want to say nothing, but then he said it, and I was like, okay, fine. Yes, she does look like Honey Boo Boo.
And you're sure she wasn't?
No, that was not Honey Boo Boo. Honey Boo Boo, like, she would have been that age back in, like, what, 2012?
Yeah.
Whenever she was really popular?
She's older.
So now she would have been way too old. Like, that's not her.
It's old footage. I'm just kidding.
Old footage. There was this young kid who was very scared in the beginning, and like he was the bigger kid. Like he was scared, like genuinely it seemed, of Wrinkles the Clown. But then there was another little boy in there that I don't know. I kind of got weird vibes off of him that maybe that he was like a little unhinged, and he was the one that was drawing Wrinkles the Clown.
Kid with the glasses.
And he was like obsessed with.
He wanted to be a clown.
He didn't want to be a clown. He wanted to be an evil clown. Is
okay.
what I took. What do you think?
Evil.
He wanted to be an evil clown.
But even the big boy, he was, there was something off about him.
Oh,
I was proud of the little boy for embracing, you know, I thought he was embracing his fear because wasn't he like playing around as a character to try and combat that?
Oh, and his YouTube stuff?
Yeah.
He might have been when he was afraid of clowns. He had seen the video of Wrinkles coming out from underneath that little girl's bed. And so he thought naturally, shit, there's a clown under my bed.
Yeah.
So he like took out the bed and he was like laying on the ground or something like that. And he had like shut all his windows and he would never open them because he just knew there was a clown outside trying to get him. And I kind of felt bad for the kid, but at that age, how much do you really have to regulate what they're watching on YouTube? You know, the world
everything.
the world is so different. Like when I was his age, I didn't have the internet and YouTube to go and watch these crazy things. At that age, whenever we would go to a video store, that's when I would wander the halls and I'd look at covers, read the back of boxes, and get traumatized by certain movies just by looking at the boxes. But if I tried to present it to my parents, this is what I want to watch, they're going to look at it and be like, nope.
Absolutely not.
Because we want to sleep tonight. You are not watching that.
Yeah.
That because they knew, but you can't do that for your child 24/7. Mm-hmm. And so if they're not going to go play outside or something, you give them something electronic to occupy their time. And at some point, they're just going to go down a rabbit hole, and it's going to probably end badly.
There's parental controls
for YouTube. So how would you go and monitor evil clowns or whatever off of a YouTube?
Even if they typed evil clowns, it wouldn't come up.
How do you do that though?
There are certain things that YouTube rates as like a rating, and they're like, this is what can come up.
Really? So like how as a parent do you go and...
You don't have to. You just set the parental controls, and then they can search for whatever they want, you know, like girl gets naked, and it just won't come up.
So internally, YouTube has like their own rating system for anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And is this like... See, I didn't know that. I knew there was like a parental thing, but I didn't know that you could actually
There's one for the phone, and then there's one for YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube Kids.
There's a YouTube Kids? Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. So it's like Nick Jr., but just all YouTube stuff?
Yep.
Do you guys feel that the impact of social media had a lot to do with Wrinkles the Clown blowing up the way he did? Oh, God, Kat.
Yes.
For sure. Because I never saw one in my personally, but I knew it was happening, and I knew to look out for it.
You're talking about Wrinkles the Clown?
A clown, period.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I think I would go and hang out with you, and you would show me like top 10 videos. These are evil clowns.
And how were those? I mean, those were good.
Some of them were creepy.
Number 6.
So there was a big twist in this movie, and it turns out that there's an older man that is portrayed as Wrinkles the Clown throughout the whole thing. There's someone speaking. We assume it's the older man, and we never get to see his face. And then out of nowhere, we get to see his face, and it's not blurred or anything. And he's asking the camera crew, just tell me when I'm walking in the frame or whatever. And they're like, okay. And it turns out the man that we were following this whole documentary was not Wrinkles the Clown. And it's actually someone who I took to be much younger, like probably in his 30s. That is Wrinkles the Clown.
Yeah.
Then what do you think? Like the legend of Wrinkles the Clown, like walking around, he's like, oh yeah, it looks like an old guy, but he's not an old guy.
Yeah.
So this changes like everything.
Yeah, he'll be around for a very long time.
Manuel, how did you feel about this twist in this documentary? This cat, my God.
I feel like it was part of. It was coming. I didn't know it was going to be the age, but. They just took too long to reveal it, Like I wasn't. It didn't. There was no impact.
There was none. Okay. What are your final thoughts on this movie?
I thought it was just a little too long, but I feel like I keep going back to the medical thing. Like I just don't. I don't want it to impact the health of the kid or like either mind or physically. So at the end, I do think he is doing something wrong. I know people got to make a buck, but maybe not doing that.
Okay, so at an hour and 18 minutes, you think they could have shaved off 18 minutes?
More. I think. Remember, it was like 27 minutes in, and I was like, "This isn't over."
Yeah, I think Manuel. I think you would have been cool with it being 45 minutes and just lean and mean, feed us the stuff.
Like you like. I get what you're doing, showing me what one kid does and what another kid does, but I'm also looking at it as a producer and somebody who, like, if I were to make the movie myself. It's fluffed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could talk to what the kids are doing, what they did or what they feel in less than 5 minutes.
Sarah, what were your final thoughts on this?
I didn't mind it. I did like the twist. I kind of wish it would have came sooner.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the twist came in like maybe the last 15 minutes of the documentary.
It might have been. And you think to offset that, they should have shaved off like 15 minutes Make
Yeah.
it like an hour and 5 instead of hour and 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. It's like Joker, the movie Joker. It was long, but it was a story.
Oh man, but Joker was incredible though.
It was a good story, but it was,
I think most people think that Wrinkles the Clown is just aight.
Yeah.
So do you think he's doing a public service?
I want to say it's a smart scare tactic,
Yeah.
but just teach yourself better parent discipline. There's other avenues to explore than just going straight to a clown. Now, I have heard, now if you don't behave, I'm going to call the cops on you. I've heard that. And when they smarten up, it's like, yeah, okay, Mom. You're going to call the cops on me.
I like how snooty you got.
well, but again, a cop is something that they can kind of grasp their little minds around. Like, okay, cops get the bad people go to jail. The clown thing, especially out of nowhere, out of left field, it's like, is this a ghost? What is this? What's happening?
Yeah.
But I think the parents might have learned this from the kid and decided to use it against them.
Yeah, probably. Kind of like one
no
of those.
parent's gonna just go out on the internet and be like, "How do I discipline my kids with a scared clown?"
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a creepypasta, but
Yeah.
turned around on the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Spencer, do you want to watch the CCTV footage with me?
Oh God. What's the CCTV, man?
Just shut the fuck up and let's watch it.
Rotten Tomatoes rated Wrinkles the Clown at 70%. IMDb gave it a 4.7 out of 10, and Metacritic has it ranked at 53%. The verdict from IGN said, quote, the film, good God, the film is maybe most engaging when debating whether parents who call Wrinkles the Clown are doing right by their children or torturing them psychologically. But when the film pulls the rug out from under the audience, all that goodwill becomes undone. A seemingly clever twist undermines the scenes that precede it and spoils what comes after. It is a documentary that frequently entertains but lacks the true insight into the viral phenomenon. A 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
Yeah. Everything that they said in that little quick verdict, I agreed with.
Yeah.
It kind of hints that the documentary might be too long. The twist at the end did come too late. It should have been at least halfway through there. And yeah, in totality,
I didn't read any of this. I feel like that's what I said.
Yeah, in totality, they didn't really talk about the viral phenomenon. They just kind of showed it happening in like a small town,
Yeah.
or whatever, and that was about it. But the way that it was presented to me, I was entertained the whole way through. And yeah, there were some parts that probably needed to be shortened. I think they could have cut at least 12 minutes out of this, and it would have been cool, lean and mean, hour and 6 minutes.
But the documentary does say Wrinkles the Clown. So it is covering who this person is.
Yeah.
But I guess
Give us what we want.
now, was this guy created after the scare, or how? I can't remember how long he had been doing this,
Oh man, that's a
or
good
if that was
question.
even clarified.
I don't know if it came after the scare.
See, that's a question that I would like to have answered, because if this was related to after the scare, then that might be kind of fucked up on him. He's like, oh, hey, I see a gig in this. Let me try it.
Yeah.
See, now if it was before and he was just kind of like, well, it just spiked up my business because people are legit scared of clowns. And then that's how the killer clown thing came up, which is how kids broaden their imagination of it and put it on this guy.
Yeah.
Then that'll make sense too.
And it's kind of a shame throughout this entire thing of Killer Clowns, no one thought to reboot Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Thank goodness for that.
Really?
And you're like, small victories, yay.
Yay. We get one.
Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about before we ride off into the sunset?
We tried a new pizza place.
Ooh, yes, we did.
It was delicious. It's genuine Chicago pizza here in Houston.
I will say where.
In Houston. In the Heights.
Okay.
It's called Chicago Italian Beef and Pizza.
I think I saw a picture of something that you sent, and that looked amazing.
It did.
was
Oh
so
my
good.
God, it was so good.
Now,
kind?
we could have actually done... So, the menu is strange. Or the sizing of the pizza. You get extra small, medium, and then large. It's like, can you
What
just call
happened
it a
to
small?
I don't know.
We're out.
So, okay, maybe extra small is the 4 cuts, which we could have done that and we would have been fine.
Oh, yeah.
But we
yeah.
did a medium, which was 8 slices each. Or
No, four and four. Yeah.
And then 8 total. So it's kind of like, okay, so we skipped 6.
Yeah. Man, it was good.
So
I've
good.
always wanted a genuine deep dish Chicago pizza. And other than going to Chicago, this is probably like the closest I'm going to get. And their recipe is from Chicago. They were founded by a man from Chicago. He's sadly passed away, but like his kids have taken over the business. It's a thing.
And they're doing just fine.
It is a bit dumpy on the inside, but clearly that's not where their bread and butter is. Like they're there to do pizza. And it was kind of dead when we arrived.
Their bread
and
and
while we
butter
were
is for
leaving,
pizza.
people started trickling in. It looks like they have a steady business going. And they've been around for like 13 years. So they're pretty good. I would absolutely love to go back to this.
Since
Me too.
1982. How much was it?
It came out to $30 because we customized our pizza, and the medium was starting at $14 or $15.
Yeah.
And then depending on how many toppings you add is like $1.50 or something like that. And so he got a bottle of IBC root beer and I got a Diet Coke. Mine was $2.50. His was $1.99. I'm like, what the hell? My fountain drink is more than his bottled soda.
I don't know, man. It was great. But
I
that's
guess
what
I get unlimited refills if I was so thirsty.
What did y'all get for the pizza? What toppings?
we did a half and half. My side was Italian sausage and Canadian bacon. And then hers was
Spinach and sun-dried tomato.
yeah.
Wow. I like spinach. Maybe not on pizza.
Yeah.
Well,
I like pineapple. Not on pizza.
that's right. I only like
What are you doing?
sauteed spinach
Wow.
in pizza. I can't do sauteed or in spaghetti, but I can't do it by itself. I can do dry spinach.
So you can't do like
No,
no. Okay.
That's gross.
Okay.
And it's bitter. It's bitter.
I don't think I've ever, as a kid watching Popeye do his thing, I was always curious. And then when my grandmother was making something or whatever, and then I saw it, I was like, what in God's name is this? And she was like, this is spinach. And it even had Popeye on it. And I was like, I'm not eating that.
They sell that in the store still.
They do, yeah. I remember seeing that. And I was like, this is what he eats. It looks so good on TV. What is this garbage? And I was like, no, I'm not touching that.
I keep wanting to play the song of when Popeyes puts the spinach in his mouth, but I keep...
And then he swallows it, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Okay. And so I kept thinking about the song, and I kept going to the, and then it'd be turned into the Looney Tunes song.
Look at Sally.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
And I'm like, no, that's not it.
Her head was underneath the curtain. It was so cute.
Oh man. Well, that was our adventures in the entire week. Next week we're going to take a look at. I think next week will just be like another regular ho hum episode, and God, there's so many notes. At least for that episode, we're going to take a look at the trailers for Minions: The Rise of Gru and Spiral from the Book of Saw. We're going to take a look at that. Yeah, did you forget? Yeah, Saw. There's another one of those.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about that next week. At least those two movies for show. But if there's nothing left that you guys want to talk about, we're going to ride off into the sunset. Till next week, his name was Manuel. Her name was Sarah. My name is Nick.
Launched a new phone.
Yeah, the
2 days
flip
ago.
phone. That's right.
The flip phone?
Yeah, the glass that can close. So it's a phone like this, but you can close it
It folds
and open it. Yeah. And then they launched their flagship phone, the Galaxy S20 Ultra. 108 megapixel camera on the back.
Dude,
with
that's too much.
100 times zoom.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw a video of
That's
that.
too
Somebody
much.
at work was fiddling with that. But yeah, I'm kind of interested to see the folding screen phone. How does that work? How many folds until the screen breaks?
They said the machine that was folding the phone broke before the phone broke. That's how many times they open and close it.
Dang.
Okay. I wonder how many times you could drop it, because I'm sure it's made of, the slickest material that they can imagine.
And then didn't the Razor come back?
Both of them. Mm-hmm.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a chance that
Sidekick
Sidekicks
will come back.
might come back, right? There's a chance.
I want the Razor again.
All right. Those are our dreams, hopes and dreams. I miss my Sidekick. To this day, the best phone I've ever had.
And I miss flip phones.
But until next time, his name was Manuel. Her name was Sarah. My name was Nick. Bye.